Hey everybody, sorry about that. We were having problems with one of the videos and YouTube didn't like it. So I just got out of it, and we're going to start in just a couple minutes here, as hopefully all of you get back on. Okay, I'm just going to walk over to the computer and make sure that we're all set to go. Sorry about that, guys. All right, we are getting up and rolling. For some reason, YouTube didn't like my video, even though it was perfectly fine. Got all the audio and all the video, purchased it all just great, but for some reason YouTube wanted to be picky with it tonight. So guys, welcome. We are excited that you are here tonight. Again, we're just going to give everybody a couple minutes to jump back on. And there we go. All right. There we go. All right, everybody. Thanks for jumping in. Sorry about that. Thanks for being patient. Again, YouTube was not happy with the video that I played, even though I purchased everything perfectly fine. So we are going to jump into our first game tonight. We're going to switch some things up, make sure that we get everything in that we want to get in, and then we're going to come back to a couple things at the end. So can you hear me okay, babe? We good on the audio? Julie? Are we good on the audio for me? Thank you. Okay. All right. So, guys, we are going to play a game called Theme Thinker. Theme Thinker. And how this game is going to work is that I am going to put up some 4 different items on the screen for you. And you're going to have to determine what the theme for those things are. Okay? So, for example, I'm going to give you, again, 4 items, and you're going to have to tell me the theme. And the person who gets the theme right and types it correctly into chat first, Julie's going to be monitoring that to make sure that that's good. So the first person to type the answer in chat and get it right is going to be entered into a drawing to win a prize at the end of the night. All right, so if you guys are ready, I'm going to put the first one on. It might take us a couple to get going here, but I'm going to put the first set of things up on the screen, and the first person to type what theme connects all of those things together will be the first one to get it right, and the first one to be entered into a drawing. We're going to do a handful of these, so jump right into it, and you'll see how we're going to do. All right, so the first one is fresh bread, salad, soup, and French fries. What is the theme that ties all 4 of those things together? All right, so fresh bread, salad, soup, French fries. What are those 4 items? All right, guys, be a little more specific if you can.
Aha, Jenna got it.
Oh, Jenna Carmichael. Jenna Carmichael just got it. They are all sides or things that come free with a meal. You still pay for them, obviously, but they come with a meal. So Jenna Carmichael is the first one. Babe, if you could write her name down for me. All righty. Here we go. The second one. It is sit down, fetch, bad, or bad. Sit down, fetch, or bad. In that order. What do those 4 things have in common? Yep. That would be Caleb Ryan. Caleb Ryan. Things you say to a dog. Things you say to a dog. I'll bring that up here. Things people yell at a dog. All right. Here we go. The next one is spiders, the dark, heights, and snakes. Spiders, the dark, heights, and snakes. What do those four things have in common? I think Daniel Ryan got that one in first, right before Joel did. It is things people are afraid of. Things people are afraid of. I think you guys are getting the hang of it now. Alrighty, so if you guys have won, keep playing, but obviously you can't win again. So if you get it first, we'll take the next person. All right, let's do this one. See if you can go with this one. Superman, the Evil Queen, Dracula, and Batman. Superman, the Evil Queen, Dracula, and Batman. This one is very, very specific. So try and think of something that brings all of those individuals together. Superman, the Evil Queen, Dracula, and Batman. It is not villains or superheroes. Think about things that they wear. Well, there we go. Caleb and Daniel already won. The answer's out there. Oh, Nikki. I think that's Nikki Bruno. You got that one right. Caleb and Daniel had already gotten it correct, so Nick, you the next one. It is people who wear a cape. People who wear a cape. All right, we're going to do one more here. All right, the last one is this. Stomach, tooth, back, and head. Stomach, tooth, back, and head. What do those four things have in common? Again, very, very specific. They are not just parts of the body. What happens to those parts of the body oftentimes? Stomach, tooth, back, and head. Yep, Joel Chapman, you are spot on that one. All four of those things often ache. Great job, guys. Stay tuned to the end because actually we're gonna pick one of you, and we're gonna play a game here on our stage area, and we will hopefully you'll have the chance to win a prize. So, guys, we're going to transition to our next segment. We're moving right along. We're a little behind tonight again. Sorry. We're going to have a brand new segment tonight called Mystery Guest. Mystery Guest. And so how this segment is going to work is each week we are going to interview a guest. It might be one of our leaders. It might be a pastor. It might even be one of you. So stay tuned for that each week. And now check out this video with our mystery guest of the week. Alrighty. So how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So what group do you lead?
I lead the ninth through 12th grade senior high girls.
Awesome. What have you been doing the past couple weeks while you've been quarantined?
A lot of laundry. No, we do. It's since we homeschool, it's really not that big of a change for us, other than the fact that the guys don't have golf right now, and Kevin's home full time, so that definitely changes up, the atmosphere in the house. But yeah, so we're doing school just like normal, and kids are practicing golf outside. And then for me, it's, cooking, laundry, dishes, school, the whole, the usual.
Gotcha. Nice.
Yeah.
Tell us the latest you've stayed up and the latest you've slept in.
On quarantine or ever?
On quarantine. On quarantine.
Okay. Well, last night I was awake until 4. Um,
Oh,
so the earliest I've gotten up is probably 6, but that was to go grocery shopping. So my
okay.
new norm is to go grocery shopping at like 7 o'clock on a Friday morning. That way I don't have to line up outside a Giant to get it,
Yes.
which I never
Quarantine
thought I'd
tips.
ever say that.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. What is your favorite quarantine snack right now?
Great. Go-to snack probably is cheese sticks, but I am scheduling like a 3 o'clock tea time for myself right now. So I make tea with milk and honey and then have a cookie or, something like that. That just gives me a pause during the day of whatever else I'm doing. So it's been kind of nice.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. So what do you love most about leading a small group on Wednesday night?
Um, I love being a leader just because I like watching all the teens interact with one another. Most of the girls in my small group I've known since nursery or cubbies, so watching them grow up over the years has been a real treat for me. I love when they get involved in the discussions. They bring a wisdom to the group and a perspective that's unique. Each one of them are different in how they perceive scripture or how they've grown up in the church. So I just love watching them get it, understand it. Mostly, though, I love just watching them interact with each other, the laughing and the random comments and all those kinds of things. That's the most fun for me. But certainly, seeing them get it on a Wednesday night or at camp or something like that is really special.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Michelle, thank you for joining us tonight.
You're
Have a
welcome.
great day.
Thank you. Everybody hang in there.
Alrighty, everybody. Well, thank you, Mrs. Ryan, for doing that interview and just sharing a little bit about what you've been doing during your quarantine and why you love working with your small group on Wednesday night. And again, just shout out to that senior high girls group that Mrs. Ryan works with. We're so thankful for her. Excuse me, and all of our amazing small group leaders who help make our ministry possible at Calvary, even when we're not meeting on a regular basis. I'm actually gonna move one of our segments to the end just to make sure we can get our teaching in and wrap up a couple other things that we do tonight. And we've been in our series kind of over these past couple of weeks in a series called Church Matters. And tonight I want to share with you how you can continue to share the love of Christ where you are at, even though we're kind of secluded or even isolated right now. And I want to share with you from the Old Testament and from the New Testament how God can use circumstances and times like this to advance his gospel in sharing the love of Christ for people all around where we are and all around the world as well. I mentioned probably a handful of times on Wednesday nights in my intros of teaching that I worked for our maintenance department on the college campus that I went to while I was in seminary after Julie and I got married. And I was kind of the low end of the totem pole, so to speak. So I did all the jobs that nobody else wanted to do. So when there was a big patch in the spring that needed to be weeded, or I had to go fix a coat rack that had been broken, or I got to go paint a lot. I did a lot of painting. There were jobs that were sometimes tedious, and they weren't a whole lot of fun to do. But That was my job and those were my tasks. But it was often hard going to do those tasks when my coworkers were out doing a task that was so much more fun with machinery that was cooler, whether they were digging something or building something or working on a big project together, but I was stuck in a room just by myself painting and not being able to help on that big project. And I felt down certain times because I was sent somewhere that I didn't want to go. I wanted to be somewhere else that was better, that was bigger, that was cooler. And I think that for a lot of us right now, that might be the way that we feel. We feel that we should be doing something else. We feel like there's something so much better out there in life for us to do than being stuck at home right now. But as I talked about in one of my 1-minute devotionals last week, I believe that we are not stuck during this time, but we have been sent. God has sent us to a specific place at a specific time for a specific purpose. And tonight I want us to reflect on the life of Jonah. Jonah is a very familiar story to many of us, but to catch you up, Jonah was a messenger of God, and God told Jonah to go to a wicked city called Nineveh. But Jonah didn't have any compassion for these people, so he ran away. He chose not to go where God was sending him because Jonah didn't believe that's where his duties lie. He thought that there were better things for God to have him do. So Jonah ran away. And we know the story of Jonah. He ended up in the belly of the whale, and he spent 3 nights there and sort of had a change of heart. And after God kind of released him and the whale spit him back up, Jonah did go to Nineveh, and he did preach God's word. And a lot of people came to know God because of Jonah's teaching. But Jonah didn't do it with the best attitude. Jonah struggled, and in the end of the book of Jonah, Jonah isn't celebrating that all of these people got saved and became followers of God, but the last words that we hear from Jonah from the Bible is, "I wish I were dead." You see, Jonah didn't understand why God had sent him to such a wicked place like Nineveh. He thought that God should have better plans for a servant of his. But I just want to use that picture and move into Acts chapter 8, because the early Christians were also struggling with this as well. Jesus left earth and commanded his disciples to go and make disciples throughout the entire world. But you know what the disciples did? They didn't go anywhere. They stayed put in Jerusalem where they were most comfortable, where they felt the most safe and secure, and they could talk to their fellow Jews. They didn't have to go and talk to the Gentiles who they thought were sinners and weren't worthy of becoming followers of Jesus. But there's an interesting thing that happens in Acts chapter 8, verses 1 through 3. Saul, who eventually will become Paul, was persecuting the church. And in Acts chapter 8, this persecution gets really real. And one of the key leaders of the early church, Stephen, is stoned by Paul and his religious leaders. Now, when this happens, there's a great persecution of Christians that breaks out across all of Jerusalem. So what happens naturally is that these Christians are scared. So they pack up all of their things and they run for their lives. Now, I'm sure at the time, these Christians who were being hunted down because of their faith, who had to leave their homes and seek shelter and seek safety, were not feeling all that great about it. They were not feeling like God was in control when they were running for their lives. But we know that he was. And what happened? Christians were scattered all across the world and had opportunities to share the gospel in places that they would have never been or never gone to without this crisis occurring. So, what's the point? Don't miss an opportunity of what God might have for you because you're scared or you think that God can't use you where he has sent you. So, how can you obey God where He has sent you right now? I'm going to give you 3 actions of how you can obey God in this time. And we've talked about these before. If you've been on Wednesday night, you would have heard me mention these before, but I want to share them with you briefly. The first one is pray. Pray for opportunities to share the love of Christ with the people around you. That might be simply knowing people's needs. Maybe it's your neighbor who is elderly and they need different items purchased for them, or they just need a phone call or a reminder that someone knows about them and cares for them. So we want to pray for opportunities, but we also want to pray for boldness. A lot of the times there are opportunities right in front of us, but we miss those opportunities because we're not sure of ourselves. We're not sure how to approach the situation. We're not sure exactly what to say or if we're going to have all the answers to our friends' questions. So pray for those opportunities, but also pray for boldness. Secondly, invest. Pray and invest. Spend time with relationships. Now, those relationships aren't in person right now. You're not going over to other friends' houses and having sleepovers or whatever, hanging out at the gym, whatever that might be. But you still have an amazing time or an opportunity to connect with your friends. We call it social media. There are a lot of ways for each and every one of you to stay connected with your friends, specifically those who are not followers of Jesus. And that might mean just sending them a message or a snap or whatever that looks like, and just asking them how they're doing, checking in on them, making sure that they're doing well. And you can even say that you are praying for them. Also, invest in their lives and show them that you care about them. Maybe that's dropping lunch off at their door, or maybe it's just swinging by and honking your horn and waving, and just reminding them that you're their friend, you're there, and you'll always be there for them. That's how you can invest during this time. So pray and invest. The third action item is invite. So pray, invest, and invite. Invite. It's super awkward, I know, to invite a friend to Wednesday night or church on Sunday morning because you're not sure how comfortable they're going to be in an environment where they're not going to know anybody, and it's going to be strange and it's going to be awkward and they might not like it. But you know what? I know that maybe a lot of people won't walk into a room full of strangers, but they'll go on YouTube and they'll watch hours and hours of videos on YouTube of random things, whether it's fails or cats or people doing crazy things or video games or whatever it might be. People are more receptive to just going online and watching a video. So invite them to Youth Group Live on Wednesday nights and just have them come and hang out with us and watch and have the opportunity to enjoy themselves and have fun and hear God's word taught. That's an easy way to do it. It's a way less intimidating thing to invite someone to watch a YouTube video than into a room of 60 plus people. So that's my challenge for each and every one of you, is to pray, to invest, and to invite. Alrighty guys, that's our challenge for tonight. I hope you take that to heart. I'm going to post our teaching justice section on YouTube a little later in the week, as well as on our church website. All right, we're going to jump in now to one of our last segments. And one of our last segments is called Verses. And how this segment is going to work is we're going to pick someone who won one of those intro things earlier in the evening, and they're going to have an opportunity to win a prize via Julie. So I'm going to have Julie come on up here, and she's going to help us with this one. And just to give you guys a little context of how this game is going to work, last Friday we posted a this or that poll on Instagram. If you don't follow us on Instagram, and you do have an Instagram, make sure you go over to Instagram and watch, and make sure you follow us. So how this is going to work is we polled you 5 questions of would you rather. And so what Julie's going to do is she's going to try and guess what your answers to those poll questions were. And if she gets 3 of them right, we're going to send one of the individuals who won earlier a prize pack. And we'll tell you that after you win. If not, I am going to spin the Wheel of Doom and have to do one of the actions that we showed you a couple weeks ago. All right? So how this is going to work is I am going to jump back over to my... Baby, stay over there.
Okay.
All right, so you don't see any of the answers because they're going to be on the screen. And so it's going to be, would you rather? And she's going to have to try and guess, again, what the teens said and not what you would say, okay, per se.
Okay.
All right? So the first one is going to be, would you rather strength or would you rather speed? Which do you think the teens would choose? Strength or speed?
I'm gonna guess strength.
Okay, Julie thinks you guys all voted for strength. Let's see if she is right. And she is wrong.
Wow.
She is wrong. It was a 59% speed, 41% strength. Oh, we forgot to announce. Sorry, we forgot to announce. We lost the suspense a little bit. We forgot to announce the person.
Yes.
Who I've got it. And that's going to be Nick, which I'm guessing is Nikki Bruno. Not sure. I'm guessing. We're gonna double check that in a second. But so Nick, you're in suspense now because you're already down 1-0. All right.
Sorry.
So Julie's got to pick you up in these next couple, but I think I believe in her. All right. All right. Let's go to the second one. So she's got to get 3 out of the next 4 for you. Okay. All right. So it's no hair or no teeth. Would teens rather have no hair or would they rather have no teeth?
Oh, definitely no hair.
Definitely no hair.
Because they like to eat, so they will need their teeth.
Yes, and it was 94% no hair over no teeth. And I comment in the section, but I'm really sure there's only 2 of you that said no teeth, and I think one of them was Abby Tuttle, and I didn't see who the other person was. So if you said no teeth, put it in the comment section and tell us why, because I'm genuinely curious. All right, so it's 1-1. Okay, we're doing better. She just needs to get 2 more right for Nikki to win a prize. All right. So, bored or busy? Would teens rather be bored or busy?
I think right now they'd rather be busy.
You think right now? Now that probably plays into it because right now maybe many of them are struggling with finding things to do throughout the day. So let's see what they said. Yes, it is 79% busy, 21% bored. So most of them would say they would rather be busy, which I'm really busy right now, so I put bored. So I'm part of that 21%. All right, so you just need 1 more out of the next 2 in order for Nick to win our prize pack of the night. All right. Would teens rather eat out or would they rather eat in? Now, this is really, really intriguing. So if any parents are listening or parents are watching, it'll be interesting to see, you might have to have some conversations with some of your kids who voted for eating out versus eating in. I'm going to leave that to you, okay? But what did the teens overall say? Eating out or eating in?
Well, the way that you just described it, I feel like they picked eating in over eating out.
You think they picked eating in over eating out? Okay.
The way that you described it was weird.
Alrighty. Well, 71% said they would rather eat out. So I don't know what that says. I'm just going to leave it there, okay? I'm not going to touch that one with like a 10-foot pole, all right? But 71% of our teens on Instagram said they would rather eat out over eating in, which I said eating in because my wife makes amazing food. Hey, just saying, all right? So, you need to get this. It's 2-2. High pressure. You need to get this one right.
Well, don't give any descriptions.
All right, I'm not going to give any descriptions to confuse her. I thought that was going to shade the other way, but that's all right. All right. sad movie or scary movie?
Ooh.
Sad movie. Again, what would the teens say? Sad or scary? Everything's on the line, no pressure.
Oh no.
So don't mess up.
Sad or scary?
Sad or scary?
I'm gonna go with sad.
Alrighty, let's see how you got it. Boom, 62% said sad versus 38% said scary. I am not a scary movie person, so you guys definitely got that right. And congrats, Nick.
Yay!
You won our prize pack for the night. Julie won it for you, so thank her.
You're welcome.
And Nick, what I need you to do, tell us in the comment section, I need you to tell us your 3 favorite snacks. It could be anything. 3 favorite snacks, could be chips, could be chocolate, could be fruit, whatever it is. 3 favorite snacks, and hopefully at some point tomorrow, those should show up on your front door. Okay? So make sure you let us know in the comments what your 3 favorite snacks are, and tell us, and we'll get them to you, okay? So, guys, a little long tonight. Sorry about the YouTube problem in the beginning. So what we're going to do, we've got one more segment, but I want to make sure that I get everything in just in case YouTube has a problem with this one as well. So don't hang up just yet, but I do want to thank you for joining us tonight. Make sure you hit like on the video and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notifications of when we post videos and when we go live on Wednesday nights. It's about every other week that we do live on Wednesdays, and then we do Zoom. All right? So one of the things that we've got for you tonight is we have a trick shot challenge. A trick shot challenge. And so what we're going to challenge you to do this week is we want you to record yourself doing trick shots. Now, it could be any trick shots. I'm going to show you some examples of me doing some trick shots in just a couple of minutes. But we want you to record yourself doing some trick shots with some of the maybe free time that you have on your hand to keep yourselves busy. And it could be anything. If you need some creative ideas, you can go check out Dude Perfect's home trick shots or everyday trick shots, and they might be able to give you some good ideas of some trick shots to do. Record them and somehow get them to me. Message us on Facebook or Instagram, or email them to me, or text them to me, or carrier pigeon, however you want to get those to me and are able to get them, send them to me, and then we'll put them in a compilation for the next YouTube Live we do, and the winner will win a special prize. And I'll tell you now, just for a little incentive, will be a special prize of we're going to DoorDash you guys, whoever the winner is, the best trick shot video, we're going to DoorDash you lunch. Okay, so wherever you want, fast food restaurant, we're going to DoorDash you lunch the next day or whatever works for you. So make sure you guys shoot those trick shot videos. Hopefully YouTube doesn't have a problem with this video either, but just in case, guys, we hope you have a great night, and thank you for joining us. Make sure you stay tuned for this next video. Some of you might not believe that that went in the gutter, but here, let me show you. There she is. All right, guys, so that is there's going to be a few seconds of black there, babe, because I was not paying attention. I was too caught up in watching the actual YouTube video. Again, guys, so that's our challenge to you. Some ideas maybe with some toilet paper. Hey, if Ethan can do it, you guys can do it, all right? So make sure you record yourself doing a trick shot, and send it to us, and we'll get you entered to win a prize and see which one will be the best so that we can DoorDash you guys lunch. Again, thank you all for joining us tonight. So many of you are on. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight and having fun. We'll post some of these videos online on Instagram and YouTube so that you guys can see them again, and we'll make sure to remind you of them. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.